Yes, welcome everyone. It's Cannabis News. I'm your host, Joe Klare. It's November 18th, 2019. The show, as always, is presented by the Marijuana Times. Find us at marijuanatimes.org. Click the video tab at marijuanatimes.org to find the show. A lot of great articles there as well, social media links, and more. Today, we're talking about Native American tribe in Nevada that's opened up a social use lounge when it comes to cannabis. Also, a big House committee markup. This week, the House Judiciary Committee is going to take a look at the MORE Act, comprehensive marijuana law reform. It's being pushed big today from NORML especially. Last I checked, the NORML Twitter feed, over 24,000 letters have been sent just today to representatives in support of the MORE Act. And also Joe Biden had more stupid, ignorant, old person things to say about cannabis over the weekend. We'll talk about all that coming up. But first, of course, Cannabis News is brought to you by Natureside, nature-side.com, and their organic, all-natural pesticides. Grow safe and poison-free with Natureside. Don't use harmful chemicals, icky, yucky things, putting on plants that people are going to be ingesting. Don't do that. Don't use banned pesticides. Be regulatory compliant in the state that you're growing in. All of these things are possible. The awesomeness of Natureside, nature-side.com. Proud sponsor of Cannabis News. Thank you, Natureside, for being so awesome. This first story is by Julia Granowitz at marijuanatimes.org. Native American tribe opens Nevada's first cannabis lounge. It's the Paiute tribe. I hope I'm saying that right, but I fear that I am not. They've decided to jump into this space and open a lounge of their own on sovereign land. Elsewhere in Nevada, lounges have been delayed until 2021. Benny So, former chairman of the Las Vegas Paiute tribe, I said it differently there. I probably still got it wrong. And current tribal council member told the Las Vegas Sun, quote, "We decided to move the industry along and be pioneers." The Nuwu Cannabis Marketplace is both owned and operated by the tribe, and since it's on land that is self-regulated and not governed by existing state laws and taxes, they added a tasting room. Now the nearly 16,000 square foot dispensary offers their patrons the option to try products before they buy them, and also gives tourists a place to consume. The tasting room is full of couches and big screen TVs. There are waiters and bartenders on site, lighting dab rigs and providing pre-rolled joints or flower, and even serving up THC-infused beer. People are monitored as they consume their cannabis, and if need be, they are cut off, or taxis or rideshare services are called so they don't drive home. So congratulations to Nevada for their first cannabis lounge. And congratulations to the Paiute tribe. I'm sure all of those are wrong. I'm trying to even come close to pronouncing it correctly. Check out the Nuwu Cannabis Marketplace. Now, it's a tasting room. You can try before you buy. It's an incredible time. Incredible time to be alive. In Nevada, as I pointed out before, it's very important for tourists to have somewhere to smoke. If they can't do it in hotels, they can't do it in public. And in case you hadn't heard, Southern Nevada especially, and all Nevada in reality, is heavily touristed. That's not the right phrase. There's a lot of tourists that come to Nevada, over 40 million a year, through Las Vegas and other parts of Nevada, and they want to try cannabis. They have to be accommodated, or they won't come. Maybe they will go somewhere else that is more accommodating. They'll go to Mike Tyson's ranch. Las Vegas, do you really want to lose business to Mike Tyson's ranch in California? I don't know, probably not. If I had to guess, this next story, as I said, from the NORML blog, House Committee markup announced to end marijuana prohibition. That's right. If you've been on social media today, you've probably seen NORML and other groups like the Marijuana Policy Project and the Drug Policy Alliance talking about the MORE Act. The House Judiciary Committee has posted a markup date for H.R. 3884, which is the Marijuana Opportunity Reinvestment and Expungement Act, better known as the MORE Act. Members of the committee will consider the bill on Wednesday, November 20th, 2019. They will likely hold a vote at that time. The MORE Act was introduced by the committee's chairman, Jerry Nadler of New York, and is expected to be positively received by committee members. A supermajority of Americans, including majorities of Democrats, Republicans, and Independents, support regulating the use of marijuana by responsible adults, said NORML Political Director Justin Streekel. Thanks to the leadership of the House Judiciary Chairman, never in history have we been closer to ending the failed policy of marijuana criminalization and providing pathways to opportunity for our brothers and sisters who have suffered under its oppressive reign. Wednesday, the House Judiciary Committee expected to take a look at the MORE Act, comprehensive marijuana law reform in the House. Incredible. Incredible stuff. As I said, last I checked Normal's Twitter feed, over 24,000 letters just since this morning have been sent to representatives in support of the MORE Act. So go check out @normal on Twitter or normal.org for more information if you want to add your name to the list of people who are sending in letters to their representatives. Now is the time. Right now. You want to pause this, open up another tab, another tab on either on your computer or your phone or whatever, and go do that, and then come back. I will allow it. This one-time exemption of pausing the show and going to do other things. This last story, which is USA Today, although, it's all over the place. Biden, lone top 2020 Democrat to oppose federal marijuana legalization, cites gateway drug concern. Yes, that's right. On Saturday, he said that more study is needed to determine whether marijuana is a gateway drug, making him the only one of the leading Democratic presidential primary candidates to oppose legalization on the federal level. 2010, he said, I still believe it's a gateway drug and legalization is a mistake. He was asked in a town hall in Las Vegas on Saturday, if his position had changed. No, it hasn't changed, Biden said. He explained that although he supports allowing states to determine their own marijuana policies, the truth of the matter is, quote unquote, he said, he's quoted as saying, there's not been nearly enough evidence acquired as to whether or not it's a gateway drug. So there's a couple problems with this. First of all, there's a lot of evidence that shows that the gateway drug theory has been dismissed. But even if it were true, it's not a good enough reason to keep marijuana illegal, because the legality of marijuana doesn't keep it out of people's hands. It just puts it in the hands of the black market and illegal dealers and Mexican drug cartels and allows them to sell it. So if it is a gateway drug, it's still a gateway drug if it's being obtained illegally. It'll be a gateway drug if it's being obtained legally. At least if it's being done legally, it can be monitored and regulated better by the government, which I guess would be Joe Biden's thing. I mean, he's a big government guy. You would think he would want that, not leave all that in the hands of people outside the government. But as I said, the gateway theory has been thoroughly debunked. The vast majority of people who try marijuana never try other drugs, and they certainly don't go on to become addicted to other drugs. They point out in the article, if you ask most people who are addicted to harder drugs what they started with, they'll say marijuana, but they also start with alcohol and tobacco. And if you go back far enough, you'll find that they ate carrots and drank milk as well, the vast majority of them. But that doesn't mean that it's a gateway drug. It's not how it works. It's not how cause and effect works. It's not how correlation works. It's not. And Joe Biden is an old guy who still believes old guy things. He really hasn't looked into the issue enough to get past his old guy preconceived notions, his misconceptions, the myths that he has carried around for him for decades at this point. And Joe Biden has never been a guy that's been known to be progressive on this issue. When it comes to either criminal justice or marijuana specifically, he's just not that guy. And he's not going to be that guy. And if he suddenly becomes that guy, it's because he knows that he's being pummeled in the Democratic primary. He knows that at his age, this might be his last chance to be president, and he may change his tune. He says he supports removing marijuana from the list of Schedule I drugs and move it to Schedule III, where it'll be made easier to research. He opposes the legalization on a federal level, but he says anyone incarcerated for marijuana should be released and criminal records should be expunged of marijuana charges. It's a very contradictory theory on things. But again, it's not surprising coming from a guy like Joe Biden, who, as I said, has never been a friend of marijuana. And he's, got old guy preconceived notions about cannabis. And he thinks that we need more research on whether or not it's a gateway drug. And even if we did have more research on that, what's enough? When will Joe Biden be satisfied? There's been enough research done to prove that marijuana is not a gateway drug, if what's been done so far is not enough. I bet you Joe Biden couldn't even answer that question, because there's no standard. Is there something you say to try to push the issue aside? Because he knows that in this particular primary, he's on the wrong side of this issue. You look at polls, 75-80% of Democrats support marijuana legalization for adult use, and he's trying to become the Democrat nominee. So he's a bit off from the base of his party when it comes to that issue. And I think he knows it. And he's trying to move toward that, but he can't do it too quick, because obviously he said a lot of stuff in the past, and he's got to make that transition, but time's running out. So if he's going to be fake and make the transition to supporting marijuana law reform, he should probably get to it soon, I would say. Thanks, everybody, for checking out the show today. New week here at the Marijuana Times. Cannabis news, we do it 5 days a week. Make sure you check us out on YouTube, search the Marijuana Times, and click that notification bell so you know when a new episode has dropped. We're also on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, if you want the audio version of the show. Keep spreading the truth about cannabis with this show. We appreciate it. Keep liking, sharing, commenting, all that stuff. We'll see you next time right here. I'll contact your congressperson Wednesday. It's going down. It's going down, son. House Judiciary Committee, Wednesday. It's going down. Anyway, thanks everybody for watching and listening today. I'll see you next time. Right here on Cannabis News.